Hello and welcome back to the vlog. I'm sweating my dick off because I've just recorded 2 coffee break rants back to back and I'm a little bit emotionally invested in them. Anyway, today we're going to talk about something that might make a few beer drinkers feel slightly uncomfortable. Because I want to ask you a simple question. Do you actually know what beer you're drinking? Now, before anyone starts panicking, no, this isn't me telling you that your favourite beer is secretly evil. Drink what you enjoy. That is literally the whole point. But there is a bigger question around beer just now. When you see words like craft, independent, local, small batch, what do they actually mean? Because a few years ago there was a controversy in Ireland where some pubs were accused of selling beers from a major brewing company under names or descriptions that made customers believe they were buying craft beer. And that opens up a much bigger conversation. Not just about one incident, but about trust.
It's Monday, don't groan, don't fear. The Beard and Beer blog bloke is here. Talking nonsense, beard on show. Grab a brew and watch him go.
The funny thing about craft beer is everyone talks about it. Everyone has an opinion on it. But ask 10 people what it actually means and you'll probably get 10 different answers. For some people, craft beer means independent, small brewery, locally owned, hands-on brewery. For others, it's about creativity, interesting flavours, different styles, beer that isn't just designed to appeal to absolutely everyone. And that's where the confusion starts, because craft isn't a magical legal definition that appears on a can and guarantees anything. It's become a word that carries an expectation of a story, of someone actually caring about their beer. Now this is where things get a little bit complicated, because big breweries noticed something. People wanted different beer. They wanted flavour. They wanted interesting brands. They wanted something that felt less corporate. So naturally, big companies entered the market. And from a business point of view, that makes complete sense. If customers are moving towards something, companies follow. But for independent brewers, this created a difficult situation. Because they aren't just competing against another brewery, they're competing against companies with huge production capacity, massive distribution networks, and enormous marketing budgets. And that changes the playing field rather a lot. Now let's talk about the phrase everyone loves throwing around just now. Fake craft. Because honestly, it's not a complicated term. Is a beer automatically fake because the company's large? Not necessarily. Large breweries can make good beer. A brewery getting bigger doesn't automatically mean the beer suddenly becomes rubbish, but there is a difference between this beer is made by a big company and this beer is being presented in a way that makes customers believe it's something else. That distinction really matters, because consumers should be able to make informed choices. If someone wants to support independent breweries, brilliant. If someone just wants a tasty pint, also brilliant. But people should also know what they're actually buying. And this is where pubs become really, really important. Because for most people, the pub is where beer discovery happens. Not everyone is going to go online researching ownership structures. Not everyone is checking company histories before ordering a pint. They're looking at the taps. They're reading the clip bumps. They're trusting the pub. And if that information isn't clear, that creates confusion. Because the average drinker isn't thinking, let me investigate the corporate structure of this beverage before consumption. They're thinking, that sounds interesting, I'll have one of those. Which is completely fair. Now this next bit is where I think the conversation gets really interesting. Because there are 2 separate questions. Question 1, is the beer good? Question 2, does who owns the brewery matter? And people will answer those questions differently. Some drinkers care really deeply about independence. They want their money supporting smaller breweries. Others don't really care. If the beer tastes good, they're happy. Neither approach is wrong. But, and it's a fairly big but, transparency matters because it lets people make that choice. So the reason this conversation matters so much is because independent breweries bring something different. Not always better, but different. They create local communities, tap rooms, collaborations, weird experimental beers, connections with drinkers. A small brewery can make something because the brewer thought, that sounds ridiculous. And sometimes those ridiculous ideas become someone's favourite beer. That's the magic. I kind of feel we're heading towards a world where drinkers become more interested in transparency. Not just, what style of beer is this? But who made it? Who owns it? What's the story? Because the modern beer drinker is increasingly curious. They want the details. They want authenticity. And maybe that's actually a good thing. So what do you think? Does ownership matter when it comes to craft beer? Should pubs and breweries be clear about who actually makes the beer? Or does it all come down to one simple question? Does it taste good? Let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe, support your local breweries, and most importantly, drink whatever makes you happy.